The next very common one, especially with the larger companies, are, well, these decisions are made at corporate. So you have to find out who that contact person is at corporate. Oftentimes I found it's an occupational health nurse who's responsible for coordinating the different providers across the country, if it's a national company. Or sometimes they're going to go through a TPA, and you just have to make sure that you're on the TPA panel. Most of the times, it's not terribly difficult to get on the TPA panel. They just want to know who you are and that you've got the availability of making certain services available, and that there may be some pricing structure that you have to be comfortable with or meet. So try to get whoever that person is on the phone, either right there or afterwards, and just inform them, hey, I just met, or I'm sitting here with, so-and-so of your local town warehouse. And he suggested that we get on the phone with you, or that I call you to see how soon we can get authorization from you to use our services for work comp, for drug screens, for physicals, whatever the case may be. So the point is, you don't just say, well, okay, well, let me know. You just have to make sure that you're in front of the one who's got the power to say yes, or get you on the list in the first place.
Yeah, I would emphasize trying to make that. Yeah, I was going to say I would try to emphasize making that call right then and there if you're stonewalled at that point with the person isn't the decision maker. Because if once that call is going to be so much more powerful that you're sitting with the local store manager or whatever the position of the person that's in your office, that I'm sitting here with them, as opposed to they told me to call you.
Exactly. That's exactly my point. I would try to get them right there while you're sitting with that person, because especially if you can put them on speakerphone, because then they're sort of going to be on the spot. But again, if they've come in and they're sitting with you, they're probably okay with that, but they're very unlikely to say anything bad at this point.
Right.
If you get that other person on the phone, you can sort of recruit this person now as your advocate to say, yeah, corporate, we really want to do this.
And
so thanks, Dave. Absolutely.
Yeah, another suggestion is to, I know that in a perfect world, you'd find out about this in advance of the tour, but it's also to, as you're working the relationship, and maybe even before the tour, is to find out can this person make the ultimate decision? And if there is somebody in corporate, to try to coordinate a conference call or authorization from that person to call the person in corporate. It's really important. I call it triangulating. So making sure that you're in touch with all the different people, and that they're in touch with and if you're not doing a group call, that they're in touch with each other, so that everybody's on the same page, and has that the local contact has advocated with corporate for your center, and that you've had whatever relationship you need with that corporate person. The more touch points you have, the easier it's going to make this process go. The thing I would always emphasize is, don't rely on other people to do any of this work. Like my contact locally, they're going to sort it all out through corporate. They might not. That might not be that person's personality style to go to make that call. So you have to sometimes facilitate this stuff.
Absolutely.